Welcome back to a MUVAS WORLD podcast. I am Ebony, and if you are new, welcome to a MUVAS WORLD. This podcast is all about a MUVAS WORLD and what goes on in a MUVAS WORLD. And today is super, super special because I've been trying to get this person on for like a long time. And we're not going to talk about the past, but he's finally coming, and I'm really excited because at the end of the day, what is a MUVAS WORLD without the daddies? So I'm really excited to invite PJ. I'm really excited to invite him. I've known him for a really long time, and I just think that it's time. I really wanted to give the daddies the opportunity to give like their own perspective and like tell their story and what it's like being a dad. But I just really wanted to shed light on the active daddies out here. And yeah, I will pour you up. You don't have to drink, but we have to.
I will for sure.
Yes, we have to. It's a special occasion.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't really do wine myself.
I was gonna ask. I was like, are you like a wine or no?
Dark liquor.
You're such
all
a man.
Day.
You're such a man. Like, I know men, y'all do like the whole dark thing, but like I thought over time y'all would like gradually get to the wine. It's so like, have you had an experience with wine? Like,
no.
We're gonna go to a tasting.
Yes, we need to do that. I mean, Taylor.
You're gonna love it. Oh,
that's like the Henny wine. I'm like, bruh.
I love Taylor Ford.
Yo.
I'm not gonna, and it's so funny because like when I would bring it to like a function or something, like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, I love it. It tastes like a strong grape.
Yes.
And then you get warm. I love it.
It's that Henny wine, as we call it.
But you rather drink some dark liquor.
Yes, Lord.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, cheers.
Yes, Lord.
Cheers to good health, good wealth, and you've been on my podcast.
All that there.
Yes.
Yes, Lord.
So how you been?
I've been all right. You know, being a dad, taking on more responsibilities with managing the band and being a leader with the band that I still sing with right now.
Okay.
Helping coordinate a fashion show. After I just got done doing another one.
What is that? What is that?
So For the People fashion show, shout out to Miss Amber Wilson.
Okay.
A. Marie Beauty Bar. That's like, she's putting on a massive fashion show.
And this is in Fredericksburg, right?
Yes, yes. Okay. It is in Fredericksburg. We're possibly looking to do it in Maryland.
Yeah,
But you know, and then linking up with my guy Carlos up in Hyattsville, Restaurant 55.
Okay. You know that's where I'm from, right?
Really?
Hyattsville, yeah. I used to live in Hyattsville.
I'm gonna be up there next weekend.
Oh, good. Oh, I have to come.
Yeah.
And that's my off weekend without Jaya. She's technically supposed to be here, but my mom pulled up on me. I was like, hey, we want to take her to Maryland, actually, in Hyattsville. Like, my grandma lives there. And I was like, okay. Hey, I mean, I guess.
It works out.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be fun. And are you, is Justice with you?
No. So she has her, The Perfect Date Night fashion show, which is actually next week.
But y'all did do something, was it?
Yep, last year.
Before, okay.
Yep, the fashion show last year. That went very, very well for Miss Jessie Reynolds.
Okay. Yes, her. I have her on Facebook.
Yeah.
I have her on Facebook. Okay.
I'm gonna be over there tonight, cooling with her and some of the models. So
really?
It should be a fun night tonight.
Oh, good. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
It's been too long.
I know, it's been real long.
I'm trying to get off of
it. How often do you drink that?
Every day.
Okay, so I want to give some context here because we were talking about how he drinks a lot of energy drinks like every day, and I was just absolutely floored at how often he drank. It makes you drink your water. Do you drink a lot of water?
Yes, I do drink water.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Straight up.
Okay. Now that we've taken care of that, welcome to a MUVAS WORLD podcast. As you can see, I have a guest. PJ. PJ, we go way back.
Way back.
When? Okay, let's see if you remember. When did we first meet? I know for a fact. Let's see. You don't remember anything.
I don't remember anything.
It was at Aladdin's.
Oh, yeah.
It was at Aladdin's. I knew none of y'all.
Oh, yeah.
None of y'all. And I came to the table and I was like, hi. Mm-hmm, I came with Kiana.
Yes. That is the first time I met you.
Y'all, we were outside.
Way more outside than we are now.
Crazy. People be like, "Oh, I'm outside," like now, or like people be like, "Oh my God, you're always." I'm like, what?
Right.
You have no idea.
No idea.
Like 15 people to 20 people deep.
Yes.
On just like a regular situation.
Every time we linked up, it was a
funny.
movie. You know, we all grown now.
We're so grown now.
I'm 30,
actually,
man.
like just strictly 30 or like 30?
I'm 30.
Dang, 30. I can't wait to be 30.
Woo!
Do you like it or?
I do like it actually, to be honest with you.
I feel like it's just such a time of like the 20s. You just learning and you go through like everything.
Right.
And I feel like once you're 30, it's like you're just way more wiser. You're wiser, and now you get to like implement everything that you learned in your 20s.
Yes,
it's like a very like wise time. It's like I can't wait till I'm 30. I just know I'm just gonna be fired.
Yeah, I mean mentally, it's gonna definitely like elevate.
That's the word. Like just pure elevation.
For sure.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so you are a dad of how many?
2. Trace and Dakota. Yes.
What's the one?
Dakota,
and then
Trace.
Yes. Okay.
Trace.
Okay. They are so cute. They are so cute, and your daughter looks just like. But both of your kids actually look just like you.
That's especially twins, your son. Man.
But like your daughter, her and her mom, like you guys are like, she's like the perfect mix.
Yes.
Of you two. It's absolutely insane. I was like, damn, she's beautiful.
Straight
like
up.
Beautiful, and she's so sassy.
Oof.
She's sassy.
It gets her in trouble sometimes.
Oh, Jay too. Like her and Jay will be best friends.
I know they
best friends for fact. Like her photos, I'm like, get that girl. Like yes, like you don't have to tell her anything.
Oh
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. And how old are they?
So both of them are Trace is about to be 5, but Dakota will be 5 actually next week.
Dang, so like what, a year apart?
8 months.
8 months.
I'll let y'all do the math on how that happened. Yeah, we gonna go ahead and drink to that.
Cheers to it too.
Yes, Lord.
Now, PJ.
Hey, you that's why we're celebrating 30 for growth. Because at that 2018.
I don't think that I actually knew that. Man. I don't think I put that together at all. I thought your son was like significantly younger. Like not at all.
And that's why they're so close. Like I will literally take her to school, and if I have not had my son the night before, she instant attitude. So they okay. So what is like your situation? Let's start there. Got you. So I'm single.
Okay.
And both moms are doing their thing. I kind of don't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
They're awesome mothers, by the way.
Good. See. Yes, there was no like. Well, not yet. But not saying that you will. But like, I just like how they're awesome mothers. Like I like that.
I couldn't do it without them. Be honest with you, and I know the same is reciprocated. And even with my plans later this year to move to Florida.
I saw that.
Yeah. So I mean, we've already talked about it. We already have an understanding of what's gonna go on.
Oh my gosh.
The less negativity, the better.
That's literally what I have an episode dropping tomorrow, and I literally say that I'm like, just the less negative. It's like if we can just like eliminate all of the extraness, it's just so much easier.
That's right, and it starts with just being able to respect boundaries.
Right.
That's one, and then 2, I don't worry about, because I've never been the jealous type anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't worry about who they messing with, who they having sex with.
Right.
I don't mess with none of that.
It's just not your
And like I told you on your IG.
Yeah.
Period. If I have to have a conversation with a man that's been around my kids, the relationship is over. Their relationship is over.
Really?
Period. I don't want to know who he is. None of that. Nope.
PJ.
Because it doesn't matter to me. If I have to be all up in your business like that, then clearly I don't trust you.
Right.
And that means what? I don't trust you around my kids neither.
You wouldn't want to meet them?
Nope. What? Less for me to worry about, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Okay. And it's vice versa? Like, is that like something that you guys have like talked about and was like, hey, if one of us starts dating or whatever, I don't care to meet them. I trust you. Like, how does that
Naturally, I'm kind of like that anyway. Because the more I don't know, the less it's gonna hurt me.
Yeah. Okay.
But even with that being said, though, I didn't have that conversation with Dakota's mom. It just naturally happened like that. With Trace's mom, she did let me know that she was in a serious relationship with somebody.
That's good.
And I told her, I say, hey, look, congratulations. I wish you nothing but happiness. I'm good on meeting whoever it is. I'm glad that you asked.
Yes.
But I'm fine. Yeah. I'm good.
And I think as long as you have the option, I think that's good. I don't know, like, for me, if I don't know anything, you done lost your
I think that's more of a woman thing, though, to be honest with you, though.
Yeah. And I think it depends on the actual situation, like who the person is.
Absolutely.
You know, like my situation, I wish it was like that. Like, it was just like, you know, easy, whatever. But you don't really know these people. True. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I said in the other episode or whatever about, it didn't drop yet. Just kidding. You don't know. It didn't drop yet. I watch it all the time. I'm like just waiting for it. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so I just like, you don't know them. You don't know them. And it's like, it's so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It's so nervous, but I think for you, maybe it may be a little different because I feel like it's like mother's intuition. It's like usually the mom wouldn't allow their kids to be around somebody that's like not okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's really, you a good one. You a good one.
I mean, I got my flaws and everything. But most of the transitional stuff that had to happen for me to be where I am now happened years ago. So 2018, when everything was first kicking off, when I found out Diamond was pregnant, shout out to Diamond, Dakota's mom and Melissa Trace's mom.
Okay.
So when I found out Diamond was pregnant, I was actually in the midst of a transition between her and being single again.
Okay.
And I'm an open book. Life is an open book.
You are very open. You are very, and that's why I'm open too. So I mean, that's good. I mean, you should just be open.
I feel like people should be open.
And everyone's just more relatable.
There you go.
Everybody just like cut the shit and like was just like, this is what it is. And that's what that is. Like, everything would just be so much better.
Yeah, I mean, and even when the whole situation happened and I found out she was pregnant, still working and all that other good stuff, I made it a point. I say, even though we're not together, let me go talk to your mom with you as you announce this thing.
Right.
Wasn't the same thing for me. I had to go tell my dad myself.
Right, okay.
And then he had the conversation.
Because you guys weren't out together.
Right,
So you guys have been basically, and this is which one?
This is Dakota's mom.
Dakota's mom. So you basically, y'all were pretty much single before she was even born.
We were in the talking stage.
Born. Yeah, okay.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Now, Trace's mom, I actually met her in church, Strong Tower Ministries at the time, and then everything just kind of moved a little bit faster than I wanted to.
Okay.
And I was partially to blame for that.
Oh.
But if I could change one thing about the whole experience, it would be not getting into something as quickly as I did after what happened with Diamond.
Yeah.
So if I could change something, that would, it was a major turnaround.
Like, not even just like messing around, but like pregnant.
Yeah.
Real quick.
And then, then Melissa got pregnant. That it was a good. It was bad for a little while.
Of course. I feel like at the beginning it's always just torturous. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're not in a relationship, it's just net. You know, everyone's kind of like very prideful and like don't really know much. Do they have any other kids, or is this like like you don't know much. You don't really know what to expect, so it's like. Everybody just got to treat like
there was some other tangling webs in the midst of that I did not find out until later. Whoa. That was in the midst of who knows who and who knows who from way back when and blah blah blah. I'm not gonna get into that because that ain't necessarily my business.
Jesus.
But yeah, it was crazy. I'm not even gonna lie, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But that was 2018.
I was just about to say, but that was back in the day. You know, we were still learning. Yeah, me 2017, 2018. I was still like still learning, still maturing, but now we're here. Mm-hmm. We are here, and we're just so much better. Like, I'm so proud of you.
I appreciate you.
Honestly, I'm so proud of you. So what is y'all's relationship like? Actually, before we get into that, your son's mom is biracial or white?
She's white.
How is that?
It's actually not as bad as people think it may be.
My experience.
I mean, truthfully speaking, when we were together, there were some rough patches where I couldn't live through her eyes because I'm black.
Really?
And she couldn't live through my eyes because she's white. And in the midst of all of that was the Floyd killing. And
so y'all had like conversations about that.
Yep.
Wow.
And I had actually went through an experience with a police officer one night where I was coming back home to my just born son and her. And I thought I wasn't gonna make it back that night, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But you know, God's grace and mercy, we live to see another day.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't as bad as
that's good.
You know, and I'm a different breed too now.
Yeah.
I try to listen more than I try to talk.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
That's good. That's a good characteristic.
Yeah, and if
like to talk.
I can try to understand, then I'd rather do that than just have you just hear what I'm trying to make you understand. You can't make nobody understand.
No, you can't.
It's up to them. So yeah, but it wasn't, like I said, bottom line, it wasn't as bad as what people make it out to be.
That's good.
Yeah. That's
very, very good. That just was not my experience at all. Which is why I said I like not meeting people prior. It's like I will never do that again. No, I'll never do that again.
Why so?
Because like I think that even if you know of them, even if you may trust them, and I'm not saying like to scare you or anything, but just like, I mean, I thought so too, but you know, and not to like get too into it, but at the end of the day, I'm always gonna keep it real.
Absolutely.
Like basically, you know, my child's father is with someone that's white also, but it just wasn't that experience. Like you didn't really go through like any, like you didn't go through like any racial situations or anything like that, and I did. You know what I mean? Like with the woman. And, you know, when it pertains to my daughter, you know what I mean? And in the episode, when I drop it, you'll see where I say, you know, there's people who will take their anger out on your kids because they're mad at their significant other, you know? And you know how people say just because, oh, like, I'm not racist because I have black kids. You know what I mean? That's just not a thing. It's so ignorant. It's so ignorant. Oh, my God. And that situation was like a prime example. It's like, yeah, like you got a half black kid, but like you're throwing out the N-word in anger, you know, like you're speaking on a young child and like making like racial slurs just because you're mad at the dad. You know what I mean? Like that's not okay.
Wait, she called your daughter
Yeah.
What?
You know, but you know that got handled.
Okay.
Yeah, that got handled. But that's what I mean by, you know, I would just want to sit down and like have that one-on-one. You know what I mean? To like really know who, like what we're working with here.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But I also think that if you and the other parent, like you know who you were with.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that people always say like you kind of ignore the red flags or whatever. I think that I'm not gonna say I ignored the red flags. I would have never in my life thought, obviously, like you would like condone that. True. Not you, but obviously, but condone the situation. But I mean, you just really never know. Like you can be gung ho, like I know that this is for a fact that they would never do this, but like just taking like a little, you know, a little caution. It's always good. To me, I would have to meet them.
Okay.
You know, I would have to meet them for sure. And I saw the comments. Yeah. Some of them, like a lot of them, and I was really surprised at the guys who said no. I literally thought that it would be like the other way around. I was so shocked. And especially you. I was like, PJ,
I'm gonna be like, to be even more completely honest. There's a word that it has been in my mantra for like the past 3 years, and that's the word grace. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, you have to have enough grace with a situation that you would want extended to you.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, I have enough grace to allow them to be the women that they are,
right,
with whoever they want to be with, without my interjection on anything.
Okay.
That includes my children.
That makes sense.
Now, there's a risk reward with that.
It is.
I'm taking a risk knowing that the reward is continued peace and positivity.
Mm-hmm.
You dig? And so, with that being said, like, if I got enough grace to do whatever and say, you know what, y'all do y'all, if I got to have a conversation with whoever you with, at that point, it's over.
Yeah, because you shouldn't even have to. That is very true. And that kind of changed my perspective a little bit. That did. Because in the beginning, it's like, the fact that I knew already just by knowing previous things about this person, it shouldn't have been a thing anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, the fact that I knew, okay, you need to have a conversation, like, that, it just shouldn't have never happened. That makes sense.
Because now all of a sudden the atmosphere has changed from, you don't get no more grace, and now we about to take it there.
Yeah.
That's why I say I don't even bother with it. Mm-hmm. And what I will say is I feel like there was a point with Dakota's mom where I thought I was gonna have the conversation with somebody.
Okay.
And most of it is on her side as far as her business, so I ain't gonna speak on it. But when I understood what the issue was, and there was safety that was being threatened at that point, then that's when...
And it's your child's mother.
Exactly.
And, like, your child is with her sometimes, you know what I mean? So,
and I love both of them. Like, I truly will have a heart for both of them because they gave me the biggest blessing I have ever received in my life.
Yeah.
And because of that, I definitely have to have even more grace,
right?
You know, when it comes to that, because I don't tolerate disrespect, so I ain't gonna give disrespect to somebody else. But yeah, I mean, with your situation, I would see why though.
Yeah,
you would take off instantly.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that ain't.
Yeah, because it's like it's God just. I'm one of God's favorites, and it's like everything that's done in the dark comes to light. Absolutely. And it's like it's the way that I found out things. Like, thank God, like, obviously my daughter was like never hurt or like, you know what I'm saying, just like mistreated or anything. But it's like the fact that there's just the things that were said. It's like I'm glad that I caught it before there's like. She's spending the night or, you know what I'm saying? You just never know. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like really interesting how things just come to light. You know, it really is. And that's another thing where it's like when people say they rather not meet, it's like, I mean, well, God got you. So, whatever someone is doing, obviously there's worse situations. I understand that. But whatever is happening, like, it's actually going to come to the light. So, yeah.
Yeah. And for me, one thing about myself is I sometimes take too much accountability for even stuff that's not even my fault. But I will still take accountability.
You are preaching to the choir. You are preaching to it's like that's not good. Yeah. It's not good at all.
Black men, take accountability for your shit. Dude,
that's
God. That's half the problem that I see with black men, and when it comes to kids is they not take accountability, not enough accountability, because they'll say, "Oh, I did this and I'm sorry," but just negated everything prior to
everything that you just like. Never mind.
Even with that, like in my own life, I'll say, I won't say, but I'll say, well, to add to that wisdom to somebody else, just take accountability, man. Like, we got to do better in that realm. I'm not like super gun-ho pro single mom over here. That's not me. I just believe in equal fairness.
Right. Okay.
Like, if she can take accountability, cool. But even if she doesn't, as a man, I still have to.
As a man, yes. And it's not to have like a double standard, but like, I just feel like as a man, like it's just different.
It's
different. It's a lot of pressure, I will say, because like, yeah, it's just a lot of pressure. But as a man, like, you are like the head. You know what I mean? You're the head. So if you're not taking accountability, it's like it just messes up everything else.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah. I mean, with men, a lot of men, I'll say that. Not everyone, but with a lot,
for sure.
They don't understand who they are. I'm still learning as well as far as how to be a man. Thank God for people like Philip G. Phil Sr., my father, who kind of showed me what it looked like to be a man.
Yeah, for sure.
Not only for me and my brother, but for my mom as well.
Yeah.
And for the whole household. But even if I'm not with either mom, in some way, shape, or form, I'm still the head of the household.
You are.
And so when you understand who you are, you will then change what you are to the people around you.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel me? And so once men start understanding who they are, I think it will be another situation as far as black men and how we're viewed when it comes to our kids.
And I hate it so much. And I think that's what frustrates me so much with like, it's that narrative and like that stereotype of like black men don't take care of their kids. It's like, why do you want that stereotype? You know what I mean? Like you, I don't think we were recording at this, but like you have your kids how much? Like how often?
Every week, at least half of the week, unless there's something in one of our schedules that kind of, well, I'll take them more or I have them less.
Yeah.
We communicate if something happens, but baseline every week, at least half the week.
And it's so funny because I literally was like, I'm not kidding. I feel like it's just not a thing. Like I never hear, like it's like just a few handful that I can really say like has their kids and is not a part-time parent. You know what I mean? And that can actually handle that, you know? And like actually like vice versa. Like was that done in court? Was that something that you guys talked about? Or like how was that for you?
Thank God.
You never had to.
I've never stepped in a courtroom.
You are like the walking ideal single father. I swear. It's like you ain't got no baby mama, baby. No drama.
Nah.
I mean, you maybe have like a little drama. But it's just like y'all didn't work out, you know? But like no one had to force you to do anything. The court system.
Yeah, I refuse to deal with the court when it comes to my kids.
I hate it. It's so embarrassing. Yeah. It's why do I even have to do that?
Yeah, if you can't even handle your kids on your own, what makes you think anything else in your life you're gonna be able to handle? Right. Like what?
Well,
that I mean that's just me. But
no, but really, like.
I mean, people can get mad at me for that, but honestly, like, and sometimes for the safety of the child, sometimes it's necessary as well. Yeah. But I know for me, and a lot of this goes back to my thoughts as a young king. So like my early 20s, when I was 18, stuff like that. Like I said, Philip G. Phil Sr., he showed me what it's like to take care of kids. Because he took care of me, you feel me? And so because of that, I started like programming my mind to say, this is how I'm going to be when I'm a father. Yes. So I was already speaking and manifesting those things before I even knew I was going to have a kid. I knew I was going to be a dope dad. Yeah. I knew my children were going to be super close. Like all of those things, I manifested those things when I was young. Yeah. And I told God, I said, I remember I was at Lee's Park one night and I was walking the back trail. And I was talking to God. I said, Lord, when my first child comes, I want it to be a daughter. I want that baby to be my daughter. And that is going to be my everything. And she is like going to take after me. And that's exactly what's going on.
I love that. That's so important. Especially with daughters. Obviously with sons too. But like daughters, like it's just something different. Man, look. It's something different. Like your job as a dad is something different. It's different. Like I genuinely feel like it dictates every aspect of their future. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the whole like daddy issues or whatever. Like it just dictates everything. Like if you are active and like you're a good dad to your daughter, it's just like no limits. I feel like, you know, man, I really do.
That girl, she literally changed my life with stepping foot out of her mom's womb. Imagine. She literally changed everything. I wouldn't say she's the reason, but she gives a lot of weight to why I've been single since me and Trace's mom, split up and everything. I have not been with a woman since.
Wow.
Or been in a relationship since 2018.
Wow, because of just like, do you think that you just think about like your past and like maybe like how you treat women, or like how, like, what do you think?
I mean, even referencing going back to the time that you met me at Aladdin's, I think a lot of people know what I was like back then.
Yeah.
But
cool that you know.
Facts. And we won't touch that too much.
Yeah.
I mean, people know how I was, so I was like, I can't let that be the example that my daughter has for what a man is supposed to be like. Like, I can't do that, because then she gonna think it's cool for her to accept some of the stuff that I was putting females through.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, because I wasn't like a bad dude or whatever.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, you weren't like you weren't like a bad person or whatever. I think that,
I had a whole phase. That's all that was. But I mean, even with that, there's like certain boundary rules that I set for myself when it comes to them. So I don't, if they are at the house, no woman outside their moms is supposed to come to the door.
And that's how it should be. Like, having just like randoms.
Right.
Randoms.
And I know, since I'm now getting back into the whole feel of, experiencing more women, because being in a woman is an experience, whether good or bad.
Yeah.
But with that being said, like I said, the rules and the boundaries that I got set for myself.
That's good.
It is what it is. And if I got plans that night with a woman, and this has happened before, that's why I speak on it.
Yeah.
Can't do it tonight. Like, I gotta
have my daughter.
Right.
Like that.
Even if it's something simple, like that, they could have easily, like, you ain't had to call me for that. Right. I still, drop it. Because more time with my kids don't hurt nobody.
It don't hurt.
I'm just saying.
Like, it's just not that.
Yeah, dudes be want to get all hot and bothered because the mother say, "Hey, I need to take care of something. Can you?"
Yeah, like, let's just reschedule.
For it, Negro. What are you talking about? What? That don't make no sense. Now, if it happens on a routine, then I can understand getting frustrated.
Absolutely, because it's like, so when you with your kids,
right? And you can just communicate that like two grown adults.
Yeah.
But you don't get mad that folks are spending more time with your kids.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah, like that wouldn't bother me.
Whatever.
We just have two different situations, but I'm like, that just would not bother me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that really is a thing. Like, there are people who are just like very bitter.
Yeah.
Like, do you think there are bitter baby daddies? Everyone always talks about like the bitter baby mamas, but like, have you seen like bitter baby daddies? Like, that's what I say. I'm like, no one talks about that.
Yeah, I've been
talks about that.
I've been privy to some situations where, because I'm the guy that likes to listen when people have problems. I've always been like that.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
I try not to speak on it too much unless you allow me to the grace to do so. But listening to a lot of females and their situations with their fathers,
child's father.
Yeah. Like, it's, I'm just like, woo.
Like, whoo, man, don't talk about this.
Nigga.
Stress.
Lord have mercy.
Stress.
Yeah, it don't make any sense, because I'll see actual evidence of these jokers being just
trifling.
Yeah, pick any adjective you want to put there.
And it's not all like, okay, it's not all dads either. Like, right, and I feel like people will be like, or like other dads, like, it's not just us, like they're, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's not just, then I'm like, no, it's not all of you guys, but there's a lot of trifling daddies out here.
Right. And they'll try to do something to spite the other parent and all this other foolishness.
See, I'm not saying it. This is the dad saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different when, like, another man is speaking on it and not just, like, your typical single mom and it's like, oh, she's better or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no. Really, this is an active father. Would you consider yourself a full-time father?
I would say I am. See, I changed that up, too.
Really?
I don't call myself a full-time dad because that almost puts the narrative that I do it by myself.
Okay.
So I don't like saying that. I say I'm a fully present father.
Yes, active. I say my mom was here earlier. I was like, yeah, like me and PJ are gonna do the podcast or whatever. He's like, oh, she's like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, yeah, he's like an active dad, like active. You know what I mean?
Yep.
She's like, oh, like so not full time but active, like present, active and present. I call because there are part time. I think part time is like just whenever you kind of like feel like it or whenever you are told to. You know what I mean? So that to me is like definitely part-time. But that's interesting. So you don't say full-time. No.
Just fully present. I mean, even I try to keep on the same schedule every single week.
Yeah.
And even if something changes and nobody says something, I still operate like the schedule has not changed.
Right.
So I'll call, whether it be, Diamond's mom or... Dakota's mom or Trace's mom.
I get them mixed. Their names, I get them so mixed up too.
Yeah, I'll call. If something changes, then they'll probably speak on it before I actually go pick them up. But if nobody says nothing, I'm on the way.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm on my way. If anything changes, let me know. And they'll call me and say, hey, she's spending time with some of her friends or something like that.
Okay.
And I'll be like, okay, bet. Well, I'm still going to get Trace though.
Right.
And whenever y'all ready, if I got to go get it the next day after school, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Like, it's very,
I
very
love
simple.
That.
Like,
it's so, I never hear like this, side. It's just always like bullshit. It's always something. And I feel like even like on social media, I just always see the negative. Like I never really see like just like cool, chill, copacetic, like, situation with the kids and the kids' other parent. You know what I mean? So it's like really, really interesting. But I'm like so glad that is your situation and not, the dumbass stereotype. You know what I mean? When you they're 5 and 4, right? Yep. 4 and 5. Is it like do you you always hear about like the mom being like overwhelmed and like postpartum, like all this stuff. Can you relate to that narrative of like a single mom being like overwhelmed and like just like that whole thing? Like do you
I've seen it personally.
Because you're active. So you're like, you go through what like we go through. You know what I'm saying? Like not a lot of other dads can like relate to it who are single,
Yeah, sometimes I'll have my moments. But I think it's more imperative that we take away the ease and the stress from the mother. Only because, like I said, when you understand who you are, you'll operate just a tad bit differently.
Right.
But sometimes what I will say is, and this is something that has to change for all black men, is that sometimes I do feel like that my feelings, my emotions, even just me as a person, sometimes I don't matter as much.
Okay.
I feel that they have not said that or not vocalized that or anything. But it's not their issue if I take something a certain way. Right. I'm normally not an emotional person by nature.
But you feel that.
But sometimes, I will feel overwhelmed. But then that's where the self-care and the self-love and or for me, what's really, really heavy for me is if I'm emotional, I'll amplify what I'm doing to make myself more busy to where I don't think about it like at all. Wow. So if they piss me off about something. Hey, look, I'm headed to rehearsal. I got to do something like I'm going to the studio or something. It really doesn't matter. But I think that even if your child's mother, men, I'm speaking to y'all. Yeah. If your child's mother does not value you as a man, that should not take away from you valuing yourself.
Right, yourself. Oh, that's so good.
So that's good. Because if you're not right, you can't be right for your kids.
You can't be right for your kids. Yeah, that makes sense. That really makes sense.
And both of them have had to say that to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they both know. Yeah, they know that I don't really speak on too much when it comes to what I'm dealing with. Right.
Most men don't.
Right.
It's so unfortunate.
And at some point, I'm the type that I don't get mad off an instant.
It's like later. I've never seen you mad, but I've seen you mad one time.
That's what I'm
saying.
Literally
one time. And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
It's like,
who is this?
It's like I'm the perfect balance of my mom and my dad. Okay. Kind of like how Dakota is.
Love your mom. Love your mom.
Oh my God.
How is she? Shout out to her. Hey.
She's dope, man. She's doing great though. Everybody is in Orlando. They doing their thing.
Wow.
So they've been gone for about a year and a half now.
For a while now.
Yeah, so she's doing well with paparazzi. My dad, he just transitioned over into another portion of the military, but through a civilian perspective.
Okay.
So my brother down there, he's doing good. My dog, hey look.
Oh, the dog.
Machi, my boy Camacho. Bad, I missed that.
It's old, right?
Yes.
Okay, I remember the dog.
Yes.
I remember the dog.
That big head joker. But yeah, everybody's doing good though. But I mean, it's like when my mom, she's the type that she won't, if you piss off, she won't say nothing. She's very.
Y'all are a lot alike.
Yeah,
you guys
she's
are a
very.
lot alike.
Once you get that DC, that Northwest DC out of her,
and
New Hampshire Avenue come out full force.
So alike. That is a great way to describe her, and it was so funny because I think I asked her, "You from DC?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, this makes so much sense."
Yep.
Makes so much sense, literally.
But you can't never take the country out of me because my dad, he from Albany, Georgia.
You have a good balance. You have a good balance, but like back then, that's why I clicked with you because I'm like, you had that like city vibe, which I really clicked to, but also like the country, like the wholesome, respectful. That's why earlier when you were like, you were kind of like not the best. I'm like, yeah, you didn't really treat the ladies the best,
right?
But you were always like a good man to me. Like I would have to say like you are like one of the main out of the few, it's very few like men that I've come across that's like always been good to me. Like I know I can call you, like you're just like a stand-up man. You know what I mean?
I try to not. Part of it though is I don't like to put myself in a situation where I have a really big fear of rejection.
Yeah.
So if I do some stupid shit, then I'm at that point. It's kind of like, okay, you about to set yourself up.
Right.
I have a fear of rejection, all of that stuff. So I will not do no extra stuff. Like even since you here, I'll talk about it with you, right? So like when I met you, I wasn't on no extra stuff. Like it was just straight up like we had good chemistry.
Yeah.
We vibe. Yeah. And I wasn't on no extra stuff.
Never.
Like, I wasn't like
no. Like you voiced whatever you voiced, but like it was never like like just OD. Or like overwhelming. Like we were still always cool, you know what I mean? Like we would still always talk to each other. Like it was just always like a good time, like a good vibe.
Yeah.
Always a good vibe.
Period.
Always. Like you drove my 21st birthday.
Man, I remember that night.
Ciao. Yeah. That's why I'm like, I just love PJ. Like a lot of people know of you, but like y'all, this is PJ, the one that drove on my 21st birthday. Like I feel like you always saved the day. I really do. Like I just don't know what. Even like when we would be out, and I'm like, I need you to play my man because they're like being weird. I'm like, you're just always saving the day.
Right.
Always.
It's like you ain't. When you ask me to do something like that, or man, lesson, right? Take notes. When a female asks you to do something for her, do that thing. Yeah. That's it.
It is never like extra, nothing extra about it.
Nah. You ain't got to be, if honestly, and what I'm learning even more now is if there is something that you would like to happen between you and another individual, at that point, just be as you as possible. Yeah. Because if she don't fall in love with the person you are, or she don't like you for the person that you are, right, it'll go ahead and depart itself as it naturally should. Right. You ain't got to do nothing extra. Right. But on the other side of that, if everything goes the way it should and you just remain you, everything will just real naturally.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah. That is so good. Wow. You have really grown, PJ. Listen. But I think we both have, for sure. But yes, I really do think that kids do that. And I think that's why, everyone always says, like, oh, like, kids are a blessing. But, like, no, really.
They are.
Really. Because I don't know what I would be doing if I didn't have a kid.
I'd be a loose cannon.
I would be a hot mess, loose cannon, still out at Aladdin's probably. Like, a hot mess.
Or Durangos now.
Or Durangos. Or, like,
Man, look.
For real. So you definitely feel like the kids have like a big impact on like how you are now, for sure. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way.
Yeah, and I mean, even when it comes to how I discipline them, I think, and I was telling somebody this the other day, because they were telling me like, PJ, like your kids are so good when they're out and about, and you see other kids, they in Walmart screaming, rolling around. Same. I was like, man, look, if you do what you're supposed to do at the crib,
going out is nothing.
That ain't nothing to worry about. Them jokers will look at another kid doing that and be like,
that is Jay. She's like, mommy.
Right. That's the coda right there. And then Tracy's like, Daddy, he's crying.
Like, what is wrong with him?
I said, yeah, we gotta go.
Right, time to go. Well, how do you discipline though? Like, what is like your strategy? Like, what is that?
I did physically do stuff, obviously in moderation.
Yeah.
When they were a lot younger.
Okay.
So like when it's like 6 months, year, tap on the hand,
right?
Pop on the thigh, stuff like that.
Okay.
But there was one time. And let me say this first. In no way, I'm going to preface by saying this. I am in no way discrediting Philip G. Phil Sr. This is not
right.
a discredit.
Right. Our parents, listen.
Look. But, because he'll try to argue with me about it now, but it's okay because I still love him. We passed it. But there was a day that I was changing my shirt or something like that. And Dakota had seen my back.
Okay.
And she seen some remnants of being disciplined back then. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
I won't try to make it seem like I was a beat down slave or some foolishness like that.
Right.
But she seen remnants of discipline from my childhood. And when she seen that, she put a hand on it, started feeling it. I said, nah. I can't. After that point, that was 2 years ago.
Okay.
That I made that decision. Since then, I have only put hands on Trace once.
Okay.
And it wasn't like I wasn't doing all that. Yeah, because now it's like if I discipline them, my children are going to be track stars because if they mess up, now you're sitting doing wall sits.
Right. Exactly. So, like I think those are it's just so much better.
Yeah.
Doing things like that. Yeah. That's so crazy. Did she like ask about it or she did? Did you have to explain to her?
Yeah, because Dakota, she's a lot more advanced than the normal 5-year-old. And so she's able to process things quickly. And so she was like, that ain't supposed to be on a normal human body. But like, what is that? And so I explained, this is discipline, but the way she was like tapped in.
Exactly. Did it make you think differently? And that's what I said in my other episode. I'm like, I feel like now, I think the difference of like our parenting and like how our parents parent, it's like we learned and we appreciate, I guess, what, y'all did. But I think at this point, I think that we're just kind of switching it up and realizing like what you guys did, maybe just not going to work for us, And I think that when you had to actually like, when you have to explain things to them, and you hear yourself speaking and like actually talking about it, it's like, wait, that's actually like I would never do that to you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do like none of the hitting, none of that.
I mean, you gotta have balance too. I'm more of the if you do it the first time, I don't want you to do it again.
Right.
Because that's how my dad was with me. So if they do something and it's like
there's levels. There's levels to this.
There's sometimes levels. I'm like, yo, Trace, like, bro, come on, man. You know better.
The gentle parent.
Then there's some days where I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you? Listen. And then he'll try to be like that. I'm like, that no. You don't. This ain't the time for you to talk. This is the time for you to just understand what I'm telling you, and then maybe later we can have a conversation. Yeah. But initial reaction, and it's good practice too. Yeah. That you have patience with yourself.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like parents don't get that. You talking about patience with kids? Have patience with yourself.
yourself. Man. That's literally where it starts. If you have no patience, you're just about to be flying off the handle. Yes. Your kids not about to be having patience. Your household is going to be chaos.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like just pure chaos.
Like men, operate in your kingship. Right?
Yeah.
You don't see a king just flying off the handle every so often. But when he addresses a situation, he addresses it how a leader should address a situation.
And it's respected.
And that's it. Like, y'all ain't got to be all like, I ain't got to do all that. Now, there is sometimes where I have to be like extra vocal.
Right. Which we all do.
Mm-hmm. But I've made it like a signature of mine with my kids. Mm-hmm. All I got to do is just give them a look.
I did that. Oh, I did that this morning. I was like,
yep.
Said, okay. Or I count. Do you do like the counting method? Mm-hmm. No? See, I do that. That I will do.
Now, Trace and Dakota, so they react a little bit differently to the look. They both respond quick, but they react differently.
Really?
So Trace, he actually gets a little bit more emotional than Dakota.
Aww.
And I think that's because the man that I am and how I've been with them is like that. Is like a shadow that's casted.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, or whatever.
That's why I can't have a boy.
Now, Dakota, on the other hand, she gets emotional, but she'll shut down.
Yeah, okay.
So Trace is a little bit more vocal, but Dakota, she's kind of like just puts her head down, stuff like that. I remember one day, and it's something real trivial, but we both were at her mom's house with all of her family.
Okay.
And sometimes you can see the difference between the way a child responds to the mom and the dad.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when it's a girl and a boy.
Absolutely.
So with Dakota, she's a little bit more of there's a comfortability level.
With you or her mom?
With her mom.
Okay.
There's more of a comfortability level where with me, I want her to walk on eggshells. Because that's the expectation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you just acting any old kind of way when you with me. But we all happen to be together this one day. And I guess she got a little bit more playful than she should have. And she took a water bottle and she tried to pour it on her mom's head. Oh, Jesus. My natural reaction, and every parent is going to think like this as long as you don't physically do it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to throw her out the window. Like, what are you doing? I'm going to throw you out and I'm going to tell God to just lift you back and maybe we'll have a transition. But all I did, she did that and I was like, I felt my whole heart about to.
Yeah, like.
And I said, you know what, PJ, patience.
Patience.
All I did was just give her a look. I said,
oh, like you was not. Sit down.
She could hear 1,000 words in one.
And you just don't need to say nothing. And you know when they get it. You know when they get it. You know
dropped to her knees and all this stuff. Now that she got emotional because I was a little bit more mad than normal. She could tell, but she started crying. All that stuff. I was like, now you would have never done something like that to me. So what makes you think that's okay to do to
that with your mom?
That makes no sense, fellas. Woo! I was just like, ding, 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 ding. But let me tell you something. Hold up. Fellas, equal playing field when it comes to separate households. Yeah. What your child does at your house should be the same thing that you do at the other's house.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Equal playing field. Bottom line, like okay. So I'll speak on Trace's mom on this one, right? So there was a time where because I was so busy and the kids couldn't always be involved with what I was doing, I was still taking them to my rehearsals.
Yeah, but they were younger, right?
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
They were younger.
I got him an iPad.
Okay.
Trace's mom was like, hey, I know the reasoning behind the iPad, but it seems like he's getting a little bit too attached. And I said, you know what? You right.
Right.
If you ain't gonna have that, because some days I would send the iPad over with him over there. But she was like, let's try to limit the screen time. Right. And I'll be like, let's do it. Yeah. Because we a team at the end of the day.
A team.
You feel me? And so Dakota's mom, I try to do the same thing when she lets me know that there's something that could potentially be, on the downward side of Dakota's benefit. Right. She'll let me know. And I say, you know what? Okay, bet. Let me try this out. Like, there was a point where I was a little bit too rough on Dakota.
Really? You think so?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think it was because, again, this was processing and programming from my childhood that if I'm constantly on you, you ain't gonna have no reason to F up.
Yes.
Like, period.
Yeah.
And so, but with that being said, again, balance.
Yeah. Like, there's such an even balance that needs to go. It cannot just be like this one way. Like, it has to be a balance of the two, for sure.
Yeah, you gotta be able to work with the co-parent. Your co-parenting situation has to be like 100%.
Yeah.
Because if anything now becomes imbalanced, now the child becomes
imbalanced. And you can tell. You can literally tell. Like, have they ever acted differently from like going to their moms and then coming back home? Like, I did like a parenting class and they were like, that is going to happen. Like, it will happen. And it was so spot on. I'm like, who are you?
Yeah, and
like,
there's some things that Dakota feels like she can get away with her mom. Versus when she with me.
Yeah. No, ma'am.
I wish.
No, ma'am.
I wish a nigga would. Like, that's like, but at the end of the day, too, I still had that conversation with Dakota. Like, bruh, if your mom has to tell me again that you're acting this way when you come over here, it's not that.
Right.
We are going to have a problem.
That's so good that y'all have those conversations. You're just going to have really good kids. And it's crazy because everyone thinks that, like, do you think that having, what is it? Like, technically a broken home, do you believe in that? Like, would you consider this a broken home? No. Me neither.
I believe in broken homes like I believe in terrible twos. There is no such thing.
No.
My kids ain't have no damn terrible twos.
I'm like, what is that?
I ain't gonna cast that spirit on my kids.
Yeah, listen.
Whatever.
I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
We ain't doing that. Did they have moments when they were two? Yeah, but they were few and far between.
Like, I was like, wait. I'm like, hey.
Terrible twos.
Like,
bugging.
What is this?
What?
Like, I'm like, she's fine.
Right.
She's being a child.
You got these old folk that coming up. I'll bring her in church or something. You got these seasoned saints up in here talking about something. Oh, they too? Oh man, I'm gonna pray for you.
Right, like don't project that.
Like, no, I'm good. I'm straight.
Like, I'm good off that. Thank you.
Yeah, so I feel like I said with a broken home. Obviously, there are going to be situations. I'm speaking on my situation.
Right.
I don't believe in a broken home.
Right.
I'm too present for that to be even a thing.
Right. Exactly.
And even if, I'm not as communicative.
Okay.
When it comes to if my kids are not with me.
Okay.
The reason being is because I deem it for myself. I'm not speaking on how they feel about it. I'm just speaking for me. I'm deeming a respect issue.
Okay.
At that point, if you go with your mom, that is your time with your mom.
Okay.
That's it. Like if there is some days where I'm just like, bro, I need to call my kids.
Call my kids. Nah. Yeah.
There are some days where that happens, but for the most part, on a regular schedule, they do their thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's interesting.
And I know that I'm so confident in how I am as a father that time spent not talking to them, they're not going to deviate from being the kids that I've raised them to be.
I was going to say, I'm like, are you like, do you feel like they would not forget you because you do have them for a long period of time, but like, do you just feel like if I don't talk to them, like what would occur almost like while you're absent, you know what I mean? Like, man, you're too involved. So it's like these situations aren't even to you. Right. It's so good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
It could all be so simple.
So simple.
Literally. And I'm not saying I'm the perfect dude. There are some days where their moms have to curse me out.
Oh, for sure. I bet.
Definitely sometimes.
And that's fine. That's fine. But at the end of the day, you're a good dad. You're active. You're present. You're self-aware. You have a good relationship. You respect your child's mothers. And like, that is just like y'all have and I spoke about this, the foundation. If the foundation is good, everything else is just going to fall into play. Yeah, and the kids are just going to be up.
Now, the crazy part about it is my childhood is definitely different from Trace's mom's childhood.
Okay.
And same for Diamond's childhood.
So do you think y'all parent differently because of that?
I think so. Yeah. I think that we would be remiss if we did not, address sometimes that our childhood does affect how we parent.
Absolutely.
Whether good or bad.
Absolutely.
I think it's lethal. She gonna make she gonna make because my hands are like but
whoa.
One all I'm gonna say is that like when you address how you were brought up, whether good nor bad, you can be able to kind of program yourself moving forward. How you should and should not be. And for me, it's like when I understood that there were a lot of great things that my dad did, but there were also significantly less, but there were some bad things in my mind that he did
that you were not gonna do again. Yes,
but please understand as well. And I think I heard this from, I think it was TD Jakes. I heard this from.
Why are you about to say TD Jakes? I feel like everyone always references
at some point. Yeah, like, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT for sure. But at some point, you got to understand that your parent, whether you had one or both, were being the best parent that they knew they could be.
Right.
They're not the perfect parents.
No.
You're not going to be the perfect parent.
Right.
Have some grace for you.
Yeah.
Because when you operate in grace, you walk a little bit differently.
Exactly. Do you think that so now that you're a parent, do you think that, how can I say this? Do you look at how your parents parented you differently? Like, do you appreciate certain things more now?
Oh my God,
yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, God, I'm so sorry.
Bro.
Like, my bad ass. Oh my God.
I was like, dude, I was like this to y'all?
Like, I'm so sorry.
There were some days where I was like, yeah. Like, one thing that I had to kind of find forgiveness in my heart for when it came to my parents, or specifically my dad, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I think that's why him and I are so close, because we had a lot of battles.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, and I felt a lot of it too was because I was the firstborn child.
Okay.
He was the firstborn child.
Okay.
So, yeah, as us being the oldest, you can't have two kings in one household.
Right.
You're going to battle.
Right.
As you get older, you become a man. Yes, some of us, sometimes we start feeling ourselves. We think we can, haha, whatever, on some key type shit.
Right.
But no, that's not it, because that's not even respect.
Right.
At that point. At all. You feel me? And so I'm just like, I told my pops one day, I was like, bruh, you never even acknowledged my musicianship. Like my talent for music, unless it was in church. And I felt like because of the way you were brought up, that's what you expected out of me if I had the talent, was to always be in church with it. And because of that, now I'm in the secular realm more than I am in the church realm. And it I wouldn't say it was a problem for him, but he wasn't as receptive to it if it was something in church.
Makes sense.
But I can't blame him for that, because what did he know?
I was just like, that's all he knew. That's all. Like
And so that right there put it in perspective for me how I see my talent, how I see my kids' talents,
right,
or whatever. Now, there are some things where I'm like, okay, I just shut that down.
Really?
That ain't
I was just going to say, do you just kind of like let them do?
Yeah, I kind of let them do their thing. And Trace, he's a little bit more reserved when it comes to just being a social person. Okay. Dakota, she's like me in reference to, she likes talking to people. She's out there.
Right,
she likes meeting folk.
She is.
And everything like that. So she would be great. I feel like her personality would actually be something for social media. You've seen her Instagram page.
I know. I'm like,
I have a severe problem with that.
Yeah, I know.
A severe problem.
You're the daddy, so I got all that. It's scary. It is scary.
Man.
It is scary.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I kind of have to. And Dakota's mom does a great job with balancing it too.
She does, because she runs her Instagram. Okay.
Yep. If I had it my way, she wouldn't have no Instagram. She was about 15, 16 years old.
You're like, we're not playing that.
Same thing with a cell phone. Same thing with a boyfriend. All that. Like, no.
That's a dad.
Yeah, like, no.
No,
absolutely not. But again, that comes with grace.
Right.
I'm gonna have enough grace to understand that there's something that could be a benefit to her if she
doing
does that,
this,
you know,
right?
And so I'm glad that her mother saw that earlier than I did.
Yeah.
Because all I'm thinking about is these Negroes, these crazy Negroes out here, God. And all of a sudden they're gonna see my daughter on the page.
And I gotta kill somebody.
There you go. I'm gonna end up in jail. God. So I'm like, yeah, that's how I think about it. But obviously, like I said, it all comes with balance. As long as she's not doing no crazy wild stuff. Right.
And y'all have a heavily like situation where you're like monitoring everything. I think she'll be fine, and it's like something that she wants to do.
Yeah.
You know, you're like letting her blossom. You're like, we don't want to like narrate their life. You know, we want to see what they're into and like let them express themselves.
Yeah.
Carefully.
Yeah, I mean, and I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't let her do it to some extent.
Exactly, because you wanted that.
Industry.
Yeah, you're all up in it,
yeah.
And you wanted that acceptance from your dad. So it's like, who are you to like?
There you
know
go.
What I mean?
There
Granted, she's 5, but like she's just early with it.
Right.
They're just early.
Absolutely.
I told Jay she wants to do this. Like she props it up. She does her little vlogs, and I'm just kind of like watching. I'm like, oh, I just don't. And I know she loves, you know what I mean? Like she really likes it. But it's like you say, it's just scary. It's just scary. But I feel bad because like if that's what you want to do, like who am I to like stop? You know what you really want to do.
They can understand too that there's levels to
Oh, there's definitely levels.
Like we can set you up with a little tripod and a camera, and we can just keep all of those videos to ourselves.
Exactly. Started out there, right?
Yeah, exactly. So she can get used to it. Then she gonna get to a point where now she can share it with the world.
Exactly.
But it will only be catered. Like there's ways to be able to tunnel
what's exactly. Going so where we feel comfortable and we're not like banning what y'all want to do. Right. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah.
Because I mean, parents know best, but you can't limit your child.
Can't limit your child, especially when they're creatives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every child is different. Like not all 5-year-olds want to like be on camera or like take photos and like model. You know, do all these things. But like when you have a creative child and like they have that creative spirit, like you can't dim it. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that. So well, this was fun. Yeah. This was fun. I'm so glad you came.
I feel like we can go another hour on this.
Oh, whole nother hour. We might have to do a part 2.
I'm with it.
We might have to do like literally a part 2. I told you I want to get the dads, like make that a thing.
For sure.
Like I've always heard like the negative, and I'm like, wow, it could just be so simple. You know what I mean? And you're the single parent, you know? And you just made it work. All of y'all, you know, you and your child's mothers. So like shout out to them too.
Yes.
For sure. Like y'all just really did a really good job of like not creating this quote unquote broken home. Like just because you're a single parent doesn't mean that it's a broken home. Like you create your home. You know what I mean? The energy in your home, like you create the narrative. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, and in closing, I'll say, fellas, like I said, accountability. That's one. Yeah. 2, operating in your calling, which is to be a man. Yeah. We as men supposed to be leaders. Yeah. Head of the household. When you understand your calling, you walk different. Yeah. You act different. You talk different. And then 3, please have some grace for yourself to be able to have grace for others. Yeah. I know sometimes as women, they will piss us off.
For sure, you know.
Look, we piss them off too.
Right.
You know, but let's make it easier on each other.
Yeah, on each other.
Yeah, like by not doing stuff that we know we would not accept for ourselves.
Exactly.
If you know you will want nobody cursing you out, why curse the other person?
Right,
out?
Exactly.
No matter what the issue is.
Yeah.
If you want somebody to communicate with you, then communicate.
Exactly.
Like,
and like with your kids. Simple. Yeah. Like, would you want this to be happening with your daughter or your son? You know, I always try to flip it back to that too. I'm
there
like,
we go.
Would I want her to be dealing with this? You know what I mean? Like, how would I want her to respond to this situation? Like, when they're looking at you, you know, they're learning through you. Like, how do I react to conflict? How do I interact with like a part, you know, like just like all of that, you know? Yeah. So I think y'all are doing a really, really good job.
Hey, look, let me flip it as well. I don't know the young king that is Jay's father, but I can speak for you. Yeah. You doing a hell of a job as well.
Thank you.
If y'all don't know, I did have a thing for Ebony. I kind of tagged.
I think so. You know, this is like controversial.
I know,
Mr.
like it could have been
himself.
It could have been like a conflict of interest, all a little bit almost. But you know how I feel about her. Like,
yeah.
And it ain't never changed. But you're a dope mother.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing.
Thank you.
Please keep progressing. I'm gonna always be a fan of yours and support you.
I will. You are such just a fan for sure. Like, not a fan in a bad way, but I'm like, you're just always showing love. Like, you're always showing love.
I love it. I told somebody
like since day one, yeah. Always.
Because when I first knew that I was coming here and doing it with you, like because the person they was familiar with the podcast.
Okay.
And so when I put it on Instagram, I was like, yeah, we got a collab coming up.
A couple people DM me too. A couple people DM me too.
I was like, they said it was a dude. He said something. He was like, yo, the twins, right? And I was like, yeah. Yes. And I was like, wait, didn't you? I was like, look, we ain't got to get on all of that. Yeah. But yeah, Ebony's like, she's like perfect in my mind. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I need to hear that sometimes.
Absolutely. It's like, nah.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you're following on Instagram at MUVAS WORLD Podcast with the _. And follow you too. Do you know your Instagram?
Yeah. So I got a lot going on. I'm gonna just go ahead and self-promote real quick.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Yes, Lord. So the 8th Wonder, the _THEE 8TH _Wonder, the 8th Wonder. On IG, PJ Fields on Facebook. I don't really do too much TikTok and Instagram, but I'm getting better. But yeah, PJ J Fields, Mr. Good Time, not a long time. That's like my mantra. Mm-hmm. I go into Instagram Live how I explain why I say that because there is a deeper thing too. No, I haven't yet. I will.
Yeah, do it again. Yeah, I want to see it.
Mr. Good Time, not a long time. So, but yeah, I got coming up. A
lot. I feel like.
So I just landed, like you know, landed my second film. Mm-hmm. I just signed the NDA. So
you signed the NDA?
Yeah.
I was about to make an NDA. I was not playing with these people.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm trying to tell you, I just signed that jump, so now it's official. So I'm in my second film. Shout out to another film that I just did 10 minutes ago with Tony James, my girl Tiffany, Eden, like my people, Larry. Like it's gonna be a dope film.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We got the For the People fashion show July 29th. Next week.
Ooh.
This
next week.
Good promotion right here.
Yes, give it.
My sister Shakara Monique. She is actually having a Love and Music event in Fredericksburg at the Hat Gallery, 1409 Princess Anne Street. Mm-hmm. VIP tickets are almost sold out, but there is general admission, so I'm be the MC.
Okay.
So you're gonna have her, Shay Harris, Trey Jones. Trey Jones and Shay Harris actually were in Pharrell's Voices of Fire.
Oh wow!
So yeah, there is going to be definitely a dope night, along with Trinity Jones, Shakara's daughter, who is crazy talented.
Yeah.
What else I got going on? Jesus, I'm working on some business deals.
Yeah.
I'm working on a deal for the company I work for, All in One Moving and Storage. Mm-hmm. If you guys need any moving services done, you know.
Ooh, I know someone that will. Soon too.
I'll give you my card.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we got moving services for all across the East Coast. We don't discriminate. We go all the way to Maine, all the way down to Florida. So yeah, just all of that. And yeah, like make sure y'all go like, share, subscribe.
All that.
To MUVAS WORLD Podcast. If you love me, then you gotta love her. So yeah.
But as of now, that is all for this episode. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. All right, y'all. Bye.